Hey everyone, welcome to today's class. I will teach you Vinyasa flow alignment tricks. So today is all about having those little things to have you move more beautifully. So just as a personal note, especially 2009 when I came to Inside Yoga, I was always the assistant of Yongho and I had to perform as his assistant. And then I had to show up, and whatever he wanted me to do, I had to do, and I was always forced to do it perfectly. So I developed a lot of tricks over the time that I will show you today. So today we will focus on a lot of little things that can improve your practice. All right, so let's warm up a little bit and come to the front of the mat. I will stay here, but you can bring your hands to Namaste and let go of everything by inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. One last time, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Then lift up your arms, inhale, come to mountain pose, and come to Uttanasana, exhale. All right, bend your knees, come to Utkatasana, and then you can straighten your legs, come to Namaste again. So let's do this 2 more times. Mountain, inhale. Uttanasana, exhale. Utkatasana, bend your knees, and then straighten your legs, Namaste. Last time, mountain, inhale. Uttanasana. Utkatasana. And Namaste. All right, now lift up the right knee. Now come to a temple seat. And here now we can, instead of doing Namaste, you can hug yourself. All right, so knee up, arms up, and hug yourself. All right, left knee up, arms up, and come to a temple seat. And when you do a temple seat, you can flex the foot. All right, left knee up, left knee up, arms up, hug yourself. I've been mirroring until now. Muscle memory, but now now we will do it one more time. So lift up your right knee. This is also my right knee. Now you know what's up. And come to a temple seat. Flex your foot, hug yourself, and arms up, and hug yourself again. So now left knee up. Okay, one little trick I always do is, especially when we practice inside flow and vinyasa flow, we hug ourselves often, right? So the first things I do is when I hug myself, I want to start with the right elbow on the bottom. So this for me is kind of like natural. This is my first side. As a teacher, I don't say it in my class, but it is a good way of keeping up with, am I having a balanced practice? So whenever you start your first time, you can have the right arm on the bottom. So right arm on the bottom, right knee up, arms up. And then flex the foot and come to a temple seat. And here I'll keep my right elbow low. So knee up, arms up, and hug yourself. Now it's the left side, right? So I'm gonna switch it up. Left elbow on the bottom. Left knee, arms up. And then temple seat, left arm is still on the bottom, knee up, arms up. And now I'm gonna switch again because it's the first time. So let's do it one more time. Right knee, arms up. Hug yourself, so which arm is on the bottom? Exactly, the right arm. Knee up, arms up. And now switch. Left elbow, arms up. Left elbow on bottom, left knee up, arms up. Temple seat. Knee up, arms up. And hug yourself. All right, now, actually we are going to do this more often now, and I'm gonna add some stuff up. So now, to make it more nicely, you can always shift your body weight first. So instead of lifting up the leg like this, you can shift your body weight first. So all my weight, 100% of my weight, is on this leg. And then when I lift up the right leg, it's more easy. And what is more easy can look more elegant. Okay, so let's do the same thing. You hug yourself. It's the first side. So the right arm is on the bottom. So now you're gonna shift your weight first, so onto the left foot. And then you can have the right knee, arms up. So this is already a little bit more elegant, right? Then you flex the foot and hug yourself. So it's the first side, right arm is low, knee up, arms up, and then you hug yourself, and you shift the weight onto the right foot. Plant your toes, left knee, arms up, and temple seat. All right, come back up and hug. So now you can deliberately, so on purpose, point the foot when you lift it up, okay? Right knee, arms up, so the foot is point. And then when you do the temple seat or standing pigeon, you can flex the foot again, okay? Right knee, arms up, and then come back. Shift the weight, left knee, point, up. And then temple seat, foot is flexed. Knee up, arms up, and hug. All right, nice. So now we're gonna add on a little bit more. So biomechanically speaking, you have more balance if you have a zigzag structure, okay? So I'm not gonna stand like a zigzag here, but it's more speaking, it's more telling when I bend the knees, when I push my butt back, when I lean a little bit backwards and have my head like on in a horizontal plane. Okay, so if I don't look down, but like that. So if I have a very slight, so you don't need to be like a skier, but if I have a very slight zigzag structure in my body, then it's much easier to hold your balance. Okay? Now, that is easy for you. So let me get straight to the next point. I want to have a little bit more steps in my movement. The more steps you have, the more people and you yourself can tell that you do this. So what I'm going to do now is I not only shift the weight, but now I lift up the hip. I lift up the hip and the heel. So if you watch this foot, then now I even lift up the ball of the foot, and then my foot is point already, right? And when my foot is point, I can lift it up like that. That is, in my point of view, in my opinion, super nice, super elegant. So you shift your weight over, and then you lift up the heel and the hip, and then you lift up the knee. I mean, if you lift up the hip, right, you look a little bit diagonal, but actually you can compensate it with the shin bone structure and your thigh bone, and it's actually normal. So in very traditional yoga, they always say square your hips, and then they try to do some asana alignment. That is very like geometrical, but our body, they have a different, like, they have functional alignment, right? Which is not always like perpendicular. So hug yourself, the right arm is on the bottom. Now, step one, you shift your weight. So now you can check if you have a slight zigzag structure. And then you can lift up the heel and the hip. And then you can lift up the ball of the foot. And now the foot is already pointed when you lift it up. You can compensate with outer rotation, inner rotation to make the shin bone perpendicular to the ground. And then you can come to a temple seat again. Now you can come a little bit down lower, and then you get up, you point the foot gradually, and then you come down again. Okay, and you could like do this: point, ball, heel, shift. Okay, then again, left heel up, hip up, and then other side. Okay, and then come to a temple seat. Knee up, arms up, and then come back. So now you shift your weight over. You can already tell the difference, right? In movement when I do this exercise now. So let's do it on the left side again. So left arm is low, shift, heel, hip, point, knee up, and hug. So one more thing is that you can realize the knee is a little bit higher up, right? If it's higher, it feels nicer, right? And I do this by posterior tilting the pelvis. So I don't do this, I do this. So in yoga, often we anterior tilt, right? Anterior tilt, open the chest. But especially when you move, you should move your hip in every direction in order to move intelligently, right? So let's do it one more time. Shift your weight over, heel up, hip up. Then the toes lift, the foot is pointed. Posterior tilt your pelvis, so the knee comes up high. Arms up, shoulders up. If you want, chin up, and then temple seat. Okay, then come back, down. Shift, heel, hip, ball of the foot. You come up, posterior tilt, temple seat, and then up, and come back. All right, so now I'm going to show you something really funny. So I hope you can see my head. So I'm gonna watch something over there, and now, so I always focus on the same thing. So I'm gonna open my eyes a little bit more so you can see. And now I'm gonna lift my nose up. I lift up my head, but as you can see, my eyes, especially in American English, you would say, my eyes stay peeled on the target. So I'm watching like a little thing over there, a little light tripod joint, and I lift up my head, but my eyes always look to the same, right? So especially when you practice, your head is part of your body, and your head is part of your aesthetic feeling, right? So you should move your head. The problem is, if I like lift up my head, but also if I look up, I can lose my balance, right? So I can compensate, like I can get the best of both worlds by like lifting up the head, but I'm still watching you, right? So that way I can keep my balance. So now we do the same thing. We lift up the shoulders, we lift up the head, but my eyes, they still have eye contact to the camera, okay? So I hope it doesn't look creepy, but let's do it. So the right arm is low, so everything together. I shift over my weight. I have the zigzag structure. I lift up the heel, the hip. I lift up the ball of the foot. Then I lift up the arms. I posterior tilt my pelvis, so the knees come up, shoulders come up, and now I lift up the head, but my eyes look forward, but it looks nice, right? And then I do the temple seat, and I can come to a natural head pose, and then I lift it up again, lift up the heel, the chin, and then come back down. Shift the weight, left arm is low, up, down, and then, as you can see, it looks a little bit creepy because I'm having eye contact right to you. So I lift up, but like if you just watch my whole body movement, you can see it kind of like, it looks nice, right? It looks organic. So you can do a lot, even with just like lifting up the knees. All right, so let's go to the next part, okay? The next part is doing, I have two things that I want to teach you today. Especially in Vinyasa flow and inside flow, you don't want to think so isolated, okay? So when you lift up your arm, you want to move kind of like basically your whole body. So if you lift up your arm, you want to like, did you know, fun fact, that if you want to have the highest arm, then you should shift your weight onto the left foot. So you can use like the diagonal of the body. So don't move isolated. Don't say, okay, lift up your arm, 1, 2, 3, 4, and say, I did it. But like, when you move as much as you can in all of your body. So it would be like, lift up your right arm, and then you can move the arm, but also you can lean over and lift up the arm. So this way, it doesn't look isolated, it looks more organic. And what is more organic is usually more functional, and what is more functional is more aesthetic. Okay? So move your whole body when you do a movement. So just to make it clear, we are going to do just warrior one. So we come to the front of the mat, hug yourself, the right arm is low. And now we do the same thing. You have a little zigzag structure, shift your weight over to the left. Heel, hip, knee up, posterior tilt your pelvis, chin up a little bit, but you keep your eyes like peeled straight. Temple seat, flex the foot, and then come back up again. And now you step back, okay? So here, now usually from lunge to warrior one, we do this. So it's an extension in the hip, and you lift up the arm, okay? So, but here now we want to move our whole body, okay? So just with the arm raise. Now to move like really nicely, we can make a little wave motion, okay? So here you can have the left knee bent, the back knee bent, and then your head is low, and then you can slowly like vertebrae by vertebrae, make a spinal roll, and then kind of like you do like a little wave, you straighten up the leg, lift up the arms, and even like I have my front leg a little bit overstretched to be a little bit higher to emphasize the breath. And then for today, we just come back to Tadasana. Okay? So let's do it with the other side. So you shift your arm to the right, shift your weight to the right. Left knee, arms up, and here you can practice what we've done before. Knee up, and you lean back. You bend your knee, so you want to move your whole body, make a spinal roll, lift up the arms, shoulders up, chin up, and then you step forward to Tadasana. Okay? What we're going to do now is one more little thing. Usually, often I see that the stance is too short. So the stance should be between your feet. The length of the stance should be your body height to your shoulders, approximately. So if the arc of the foot is on the height of your shoulders, that's generally a good point. So from sole to this height, I should do my lunge. Okay, but this is what happens. Often, this is what people do. This is the distance between the feet. This is too low. It should be like this. So the distance between the feet is the body height to your shoulders. So this is good now. The problem is, if I want to put my foot back like that, often it doesn't look very graceful. So I'm going to show you my oldest vinyasa flow trick. There should be like a super old, maybe there's a super old vinyasa YouTube video, but let's not search for that one. So I lift up my knee, I posterior tilt my pelvis, and then I do the toe trick. So first, the arms are the counterbalance, and then I put the span of the foot down, and then I roll over my toes, and then I come up. So as you can see, I never used speed tempo to get out, and then I roll over my toes, and then I can come back to Tadasana. Okay, so let's do it one more time. The whole thing now. Right arm is low. Shift your weight over. Heel up, hip up, knee up. Temple seat. Knee up. And now you lean over. Span of the foot down. Bend your knee. Spinal wave. Up. And then you lean over. Roll over your toes. And carefully step up to Tadasana. Nice. Other side. Lean over to the right foot. Knee up, hip up, posterior tilt. Temple seat. Then knee up, arms up. Arms to the front. Foot is the counterweight. Roll over the toes. bend your knees, head down, spinal wave, warrior one, and then step forward. Boom. Nice. Let's do it 2 more times, right side, left side. Right knee up, arms up. Temple seat. Okay, up. You lean back with the foot, roll over, bend your knees, spinal wave up to warrior one, lean over, roll over the toes, tempo is forbidden, and you step. Left knee, arms up. The step is kind of tough, right? I slowly have to breathe faster. Knee up. And then arms are the counterweight. Roll over the toes, spinal wave. Up, lean forward, roll over the toes, and then you can just put the foot right next to the other. Last time, right side, left side. Right knee up. Temple seat, knee up, arms up. And then lean forward, leg back, span of the foot down, roll over the toes, bend the knees, spinal wave, chin up, lean forward, roll over the toes, foot to foot, Tadasana, or hug. Last time, left side, left knee, arms up, up. Flex the foot, come up. Wave motion to high lunge, lean forward, foot to foot. All right, everyone. So let's recap what we have just done. So we shifted our center of gravity first to make it more elegant, right? We maximized our range of motion by using various joints. We checked that we always use right and left, especially when we hug, to have more balance in our practice. And then when we have a very nice krama, a very nice order of things we do when we lift up the leg. And then we use the toe trick to have like correct length between our feet. And then we used non-isolated movements to have a more functional and thus aesthetic practice. All right, so all in all, these are just like very, very few tricks that can enhance your practice. And there is a very common saying, and it is, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you practice these very simple moves, right? So it's just mountain and high lunge or warrior one. If you practice this like elegance to the max, then everything will become more elegant. If you like what you learned today, then check out the Insight Online Premium membership, which is more knowledge-driven and content-driven. You can get all information on how to move better, how to teach better, and enjoy like a wide variety of classes. Check out the links that are here.